Hello, this is another in series of videos on geometry, and this video as to the nature of Euclidean geometry is going to focus on problems. The previous video focused more on propositions in geometry. What can be known on the basis of the axioms of geometry. This video focuses more on what problems can you solve based on our knowledge of geometry as embodied in the axioms. And in geometry, the problems we can solve, or perhaps in some cases can't solve, well, they are called constructions. Now look here, as, by the way, the book, of course, I introduced the book this is from in the previous video. Based on Euclid's postulate 2 here, you can draw lines. In popular terms, you can make any line that you please with a straight edge given 2 points. And Euclid's postulate 3 here, given 2 points, you can designate one as the center, one as a point on circumference, and describe a circle as if you had a compass, like that type of drawing tool to mark it out, mark a circle out as you please. Now, what you have to face in geometry, as you've got to face in the mathematical sciences generally, is that there are problems you can solve, and there are problems based on your body of knowledge you're talking about that you cannot solve. I won't read this footnote down here talking about famous unsolved problems in classical geometry, 3 in number, which turned out to be proved as not capable of being solved in terms of the basis of knowledge we have in Euclidean geometry. I'm not going to read this footnote, but one of them that you may have heard of is trisecting an angle in general. To flesh that out a little bit, in Euclidean geometry, given any angle, this one for example, any angle of any size that you please, you can bisect that. That's a possible construction. It's a solvable problem. However, given any angle in general, you cannot trisect it in general. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that there's no way at all of trisecting angles in general. There certainly is, but as the footnote hints at, to do so, to trisect angles in general, you have to use methods that are not embodied in our axioms of Euclidean geometry. Also, it doesn't mean that the angle in general cannot be trisected in terms of Euclidean geometry, that doesn't mean that particular cases of trisecting an angle cannot be done. Certainly that is not true either. There are particular types of angles that can be trisected using just the tools available to us in the axioms, according to the axioms of Euclidean geometry. But in general, trisect the angle, in general, you cannot do it. Well, that's all for now. Till next time.